All right, folks, welcome to the Jimmy O Show. Kickoff Special coming to you from Stack Coaching, not the studios, the gym this time. Apropos, I guess, for the situation as I have our two stars on the defense, or two of many stars, but the biggest stars probably, Nick Anderson and Dorian Williams. How you doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I say it's apropos because, look, all the hard work, all the off-season, all the lifting and running and everything is sort of behind us now, and we're on the eve of kickoff.
Yes, sir.
How we feeling?
Excited, ready to hit another jersey on Saturday.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I've talked to a lot of you since the first few shows, because y'all were two of my earliest guests. You know, I've talked to a lot of teammates, and I would say, you know, it'd be nice to just let it out and hit somebody as hard as you want, but it sounds like from the offensive guys, you guys didn't really hold back too much in practice.
No, not really. We try to take care of our teammates, but at the end of the day, the only thing they can simulate, especially being a defensive guy, is just practicing with their level of tenacity, because that's something you can't cut off on a week-to-week and just cut on Saturday. So I feel like, you know, me, Dorian, the rest of the defense do a great job of practicing at an up-tempo, but also being able to take care of our teammates at the same time.
Right. Practice hard, but practice clean.
Yes,
Practice smart. I know Coach Fritz does a great job with keeping guys unnecessarily off the ground and so forth.
Right.
It wasn't always that way, man. When I was there, you know, there was a lot of cut. We were still cut blocking and everything else there in practice. But, you know, we somehow managed to survive. We were a little lucky through the grace of God, I guess. But so, man, look, you know, I guess this is all part of the journey, right? You know, y'all been here quite a while now, 4 long years.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and now we're finally here. It's going to be, I guess, definitely your last season, Nick. You're a senior.
Yes, sir.
And Dorian, you're a junior.
Yes, sir.
I know the scouts are looking. It may very well be your last season. So we won't think about the future. We'll think other than this next 12, 13, 14 games, I guess, in front of us, right? With a conference championship and a bowl.
Right.
Yes, sir. That's
14
the plan.
games.
14.
Yes, sir. That's
Yes,
the plan.
sir.
For sure.
And I guess the old axiom applies, one game at a time, of course. First up, UMass. You know, we're not going to go too deep into it, but what are some general thoughts you have looking forward to the Minutemen coming down to Human?
Most definitely. Just looking at UMass, I feel like they're a talented team rather than other people think. You know, they went and they brought in 20-plus transfers. They have coaches that are, you know, very well known in the coaching world. I feel like they run a good scheme. You know, their OC being a former analyst for Michigan last year, and you look at Michigan, they were Big Ten champions. So I don't feel like, you know, UMass is just one of those teams that you can just cross off on the schedule and say, you know, okay, let's look forward to week 2. I do think they're a respectable football team, and I don't want to give them no knocks, but I know we're going to have to come out there and, you know, play our best Tulane football, in which we plan to do.
Yes, sir, for sure. I know on the defensive side of the ball, man, we're just ready to get after it, man. Ready, you know, like Nick said, hit somebody else, you know, and that's the plan. You know, go out, smack guys in the mouth, you know, have a good time out there. Really.
You know, the interesting point y'all bring up is the fact that they come from this background with a Michigan guy, and of course, we don't know what they're going to run because we haven't seen this guy as an offensive coordinator calling plays. But I think when I think of the strength of Tulane defense, or at least what we're built for, we're sort of built to play against in a lot of respects, our conference, the way they play. We're basically a 4-2-5 base for the most part, right? And we have 2 linebackers who are rangy, who can cover a lot of ground. We're good against, and we're designed to play against sort of some wide open teams that spread it out, and we can run in space, make plays in space.
Right.
When you watch Michigan play last year, though, they like to get in the phone booth a little bit.
Yeah.
So is that one of the things that we're kind of looking at, is that these guys may come out and try to smash us in the mouth, run between the tackles, keep it tight that way, or?
That's one of the things that Coach Moose had mentioned. Just looking at the way they did things at their previous spots, they were more of a running football team. They do a lot of things to mess with your eyes, but for the most part, they want to line up, they want to run the ball. They do have a talented running back in number 7. Pretty big kid on paper, about 6'1", 200 plus pounds. So I definitely think that, they're going to try to come out and run the ball against us. But, I mean, that's one of the things we pride ourselves in is, our run defense over the years is being able to stop the run and try to make the offense one-dimensional. So it's nothing that I'm too much worried about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got the guys like, me and Nick, our favorite teams to play against is the Army and Navy. So, we like to be in the phone books ourselves. So, I like being between the tackles, man. It's a good time, see what you're really made out of, man. Run head-to-head football, man. I love it, man.
Yeah,
have a good time.
I was similar in that respect, but it was for different reasons than y'all. Y'all are really good in the phone booth. I'd rather be in the phone booth in tight space because I couldn't move. So it's like, the only thing I could do, even mediocre, was the tight play and run blocking and so forth. So it would be an interesting worldview if I had that way. I was like, look, I could play any style you want, but I want to play this smash mouth style. Please bring it, right?
Yes, sir.
So, when I think of you guys and y'all's play and just as players defense overall and your tenures here, one thing I always think of, and it's conducive to this, is there's, with a little stretch last year as an exception, just a tremendous gap discipline. We make good run fits. We're I think, have been coached well in that respect, and we've got good players that can execute a good gap sound defensive run scheme. So I hope that's what we see out of these guys, but we'll be prepared for anything, I'm sure. So guys, looking at those the fallout or the wrapping up of fall camp, looks like it was a pretty successful camp from a health standpoint, right?
For sure. Definitely better than last year, man. We had a lot of guys beat up, and, at this point out for the season, going into the season. So it's definitely fun having, guys like Devin Gill, Carlos back in action, having those guys run around, make some plays. So it's definitely fun having those guys back out there.
Yeah, and you think about it, I mean, it's like it was like you were afraid to read the camp news last year a lot of times because like, who's down now? And really the injuries this year are pretty minimal, and that was a goal, right? That was a stated goal. You guys talked about early on, one of the big focuses of the offseason workout was to keep guys healthy.
Right.
And so we know that the injury report's not lengthy, but how your bodies feel? Do you feel fresher than you've ever felt at this time of the year?
I do feel fresh. Today was a real practice, though. That New Orleans heat definitely came out today. But that's something that Coach Fritz has been preaching for us to be able to use that as our advantage, especially playing at home and having about 7 home games, being able to use the atmosphere that we play in and practice in every day to our advantage. But aside from that, I feel fresh and frisky. I'm ready to go, ready to have a healthy season, knock on wood. But that's just one of the things that Coach Hester has came in and really just improved as far as the strength and conditioning program of bringing that expertise and that level of just training to keep everybody healthy, keep guys healthy, knowing when to pull off, knowing when to, go harder. And this is one of the things that's just a testament to him of guys, being healthy and being ready to start the season.
Mm-hmm. Coach told us, man, he's like, hey, man, we've been hitting all fall camp, we're going at it strength-wise all summer. He's like, hey, man, guys, your body is normal to feel a little beat up. Like, you play football, man.
Right.
Your body's not supposed to be throwing into it like that. Like, it's part of the game, man. We love it, man. It's just, happy to have the support cast we have to get guys back going and, get the bumps and bruises all out of you.
Right. And I guess the other advantage of wrapping up camp coming in, you don't have to see as much of a guy like Sincere as much. Huh? Like, so maybe a little inside drill, but for the most part, you're getting into your game specific. So you're seeing some scout team guys. Hopefully, how's that been? One of the things that we hope for on the outside is that the depth of the team is growing such that you got competition at every position. But another thing is, the better the guys, the younger guys, the guys waiting their turn are, the better looks you get from a scout team. So how's that been? Are we getting some good looks from the scout team as you see them?
Yes, sir. Definitely. I like how the scout team is holding each other accountable.
Right.
A lot of guys back in the day, they was on scout team and really just go through the motions, but I feel like we got leaders now on scout team as well, which I've never seen. So I feel like it's great. The guys holding each other accountable, getting each other's head. It's great, man. For sure.
And I also feel like we got guys that are not afraid to accept that role of being a scout team player. You know, you have a lot of guys who think they're too good to be on scout team. Me and Dorian both were on scout team when we first got here, whether that's, you know, giving looks to the offense or giving looks to our own defensive players. And I feel like, you know, that's just important as being a 1 or a 2, you know, giving an accurate look. And just shout out to guys like Tate Jernigan, somebody that, you know, freshman walk-on running back that comes and he plays hard. And we need that, you know, we need to be able to, you know, somebody that can come in and simulate what we're going to see on Saturdays, because if we don't have anybody that can't do that, then the first time we're really seeing a real look is on game day.
Mm-hmm. And it's such a matter of perspective, right? And it's hard for guys. I think ego comes into it, and it's always hard to buy into. It's always about me and why am I being treated this way instead of what can I do for us, right? And what can do a whole. And when you start getting guys that understand that whatever role you find yourself in, it's an opportunity to play football, and it's an opportunity to make yourself better, to make an impression, but also to help out all the other 100 guys around.
Right.
And seeing that is, I mean, that's such a key. I think if you talk to any successful team, I mean, I guarantee you go up to Tuscaloosa and ask those guys what the secret sauce is. It's that the third team guys, the 14 guys they're giving hard competition every single day, making the guys up top better. So looking at you mentioned some of the guys, Carlos Hatcher, Devin Deal, seeing them out there. You know, we were missing them last year. Another guy who's really come on and I think had a great camp was Keith Cooper.
Yes,
right.
Definitely. Great kid.
And so, you know, all of a sudden I'm looking, I was like, I don't know what kind of depth we got down there on the edges. Now all of a sudden I'm starting to see some real numbers, quality numbers. Mm-hmm. Give your assessment right now, just real quick, of the guys we have sort of in front of you. Where are our strengths? Where are our weaknesses? How excited you to watch these guys ball out Saturday?
I'm excited for the D-line. You look at, you know, the COVID year playing behind guys like Pat Johnson, Cam Sample, Dre, Big Jeffrey. You know, that was something that we tried last year to replace. But, you know, having those as many talented guys, you know, it takes time, especially if you're trying to look at that through freshmen. So to see guys like Keith Cooper, who has really just taken a stance and being a physical player, using his length, using his strength, and just being able to physically dominate players in his second year, only being a sophomore, is dynamic. Seeing guys like Angelo, you know, who came in and was a little small, be able to put on weight to play, you know, from a 3-tech to a 5-tech all the way to a 4-eye. You know, that's just great to have. Like he said, great to have Devin Deal back, Carlos back, because without those guys, you know, me and him can't do what we need to do for the defense without the linemen up front. And so to just go through the spring and fall camp, to have Coach T-Rob, you know, a good, you know, defensive line coach that don't mind getting after guys, especially, you know, trying to build that level of toughness in that room, I feel like it's something that we have done, and I'm excited to see those guys work on Saturday.
No, for sure. I think it's probably one of our deeper D-line roster. Mm-hmm. All those guys can pretty much play, you know. And we like to say, man, next man up mentality, man. Some guy get in there, you get tired, man, get him out, get somebody else in that's going to do it. And I feel like those guys will be able to do that very well this year.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. And speaking of D-line, I got to give a special shout out to my guy Adonis. My son's playing tackle football for the first time, all right? And was a little lost and didn't know what was going on. Adonis went in the rain on Saturday and put him through some drills, had him hitting the sled, helping him get in his stance right, showing him how to get off, how to engage, how to get off blocks, and all of a sudden he's having a lot of success in practice.
It's good.
So, I mean, that's just, you know, you guys are my favorites because y'all been there from the beginning, but I got to say, the D-line's,
it's time to take it away, huh?
Yeah, look, I always had a special, you know, dislike for D linemen, you know, but I'm forced to reevaluate my position. I mean, the guy went above and beyond for me, and I appreciate that. But that's another big guy, though. You know, you look at Adonis, you look at the way his body looks right now. I mean, he's a guy. I mean, he's primarily a run stopper, a guy that has to eat up 2 or 3 blocks, get you guys loose.
Right.
But, you know, he's also got some quickness. He's got the ability to get at a quarterback. You can't leave him one-on-one.
Right.
You know, you can't. He's not a guy you have to take off the field necessily in a pass rush down.
Right.
Sure.
And so you just look at all that versatility. I also think package-wise, and please don't reveal any government secrets because this will come out before the game on Saturday. But are we looking at some more exotic packages in terms of, I say exotic, but taking maybe some defense ends, jokers, putting them inside, 3-tech special run packages? Are we that versatile, or?
Just know that Coach Hemp has done a great job this offseason of scheming up things to play the players' strengths.
Got it.
So a lot of things that we're going to line up in on Saturday hasn't been seen before, but it's special. And it's something that Coach Hemp has taken his time to really use to elevate the defense and put playmakers in the right position. So that's all I can speak on that. But just know that, our coaches have done a great job of, using players' versatility in different places.
Now, Dorian, I'm going to tell you something. When Nick finished his first interview on the Jimmy O show, we were walking out, and I said, Nick, you got to be age 35 to run for the president of the United States. But when you turn 35, I'm ready to vote for you.
Oh, yeah, Nick is serious.
And I think you just saw why. I mean,
Nick is selling it, man. Nick is selling it, man.
Biden's press secretary couldn't do as good of a job with that guy.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. I love it. Well, how about our guys on the other side of the ball? How just from what you saw progression-wise from, they start the spring, they're installing a new scheme. Not, there's carryover, but really kind of a new offense to where they are now. Should we expect exciting things from the offense on Saturday?
Yes, sir, for sure. They got a lot of depth in the wide receiver position. All over, really, they got a lot of depth. They got a lot of depth at running back, wide receiver, tight end. The O-line's getting better every day, man. It's great to see, especially because, those are guys who are going to keep us off the field. So
right.
It's great to see those guys, go there and get after it, compete, make us better even. So it's great to have those guys, man.
I feel like one of the things that the coach did a great job of is bringing in guys that are able to add to what we're trying to do, able to, come in and play right off bat. You look at guys like, even though he came in last year, but Shea Wyatt, dynamic receiver. LaMarcus Keys, dynamic receiver, and, going to be big in the kicking game for us this year. Looking at guys like Day coming in and adding to the receiver room, taking some of the stress off Deuce and Fat and Quan. Looking at the O-line, Big Prince Pons. he's a load. He's a huge guy, but he's somebody that has come in, doesn't say a lot off the field, but definitely plays hard. Caden plays very aggressive. And so I feel like, that's just, you can't forget about a shot in the backfield. So I feel like we're very talented offensively, got a lot of weapons, got a lot of depth, like Dorian said, and, can't wait to see those boys get their shine on too.
For sure.
Oh, I know it, man. Look, I was impressed. I saw Prince and Caden, I saw them. You're watching sort of the new guys when you come out practice as an offensive lineman. I'm watching them at least. And Prince is a load, but, the guy moves pretty well for a guy his size.
He does, and he can dance. I don't know if you know.
He
can dance.
Sturdy, man.
He can
He
dance.
can cut up, man.
Well, he's another one that kind of reminds me a little bit of Sincere in that if he gets his hands on you, it's trouble.
It's tough.
It's trouble. You got to work that hand technique. Keep him from getting a grip on you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, it's exciting. I know, and and one thing we saw, and I don't think I'm giving anything away, but if you're gonna give us the shots, it looks like we're going to take it a little bit on offense. There's some aggression there in the way Coach Svoboda has done things, and some of the guys you mentioned have shown the ability to go get those one-on-ones deep. Another one, young guy, man, he's a big old guy, is Brazel, huh?
Chris Brazel.
Chris Brazel,
he's a guy, man. He'll run. He's fast. He's long. He's physical, man. He'll go up and get it for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he does this year as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to just see his overall career. Seeing what being in the collegiate strength program is going to do for him, because he's already a big kid. And he's just shown just extreme athleticism over camp. Just going up, catching fade balls, catching slants, being able to take it the distance. But he's a great receiver. He's going to play a lot this year.
What's interesting about it is we've had depth at running back for a while. But the frustrating part is like when the other parts of the game are sort of breaking down, it doesn't matter how deep you are at running back, if you only run a certain amount of plays because you're not converting on third down, it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating for you guys, y'all having to go back on the field, particularly if we're playing fast and not making first downs. But once you get to a certain point at all the different positions, things sort of build themselves, because those 9 deep at receiver, all of a sudden we convert, the offensive line doing a better job. We convert in third down. that's given up more opportunities to use that depth at running back, right? So you might have a game where Tajay's got 15 carries, Cam's got 12 carries, Shade's got 10, and Celestine's got 10. I mean, look, if we run it that many times, we won the game. So let's see that Saturday. But
yes, sir.
With respect to tempo, though, when you're on the sideline and your offense is playing at a fast tempo, I know it's an advantage to the offense to do so. But is there any time you're just sitting there and like, guys, look, y'all want to take that play clock down to 10 or 12 every now and then, give us a breather, that'd be all right? Or y'all just understand that that's part of the game, man. They gotta go fast.
It's part of the game. We always say we one team, one heartbeat, man. So, we rely on those guys. We got rely on us. We getting our conditioning up, so we're ready to play, man. And we got depth everywhere on defense, so we're not too worried about the offense and their tempo, man. We're gonna just let those boys go out there and do what they gotta do, man. They're gonna do what they gotta do.
And this is one of the things that we also emphasize is just getting off the field on third down. As a defense, Coach Hemp told us, and it's really a reality, and it's one of the keys to keeping people healthy early in the season, is not playing that many snaps on defense. Being able to get 3 and outs series after series, get more opportunities back to the offense so they can do their thing. And that's just one of the things we're just going to pride ourselves on trying to accomplish this year. Just getting off the field on third down, handling business first and second, getting in the third and long, and getting off the field.
Nice. Now, I want to go back to defense, and I want to tell you about a program we put in place, but I'd be remiss not to talk about my guy Macon. I had him in. He was back at the deep safety. Now he's playing closer to the line again, huh? Is he playing more nickel? Is that what it looks like? Or
Macon be all over the place, man.
Yeah,
not Macon all over the place, man. He's one of those type of guys. He can cover. He can come down and hit. Macon likes to be in the box. He's one of those guys. He wants to cover the A gap. Like Macon, we don't quite want you to cover the A gap, but you can if you want to.
But we know you're big enough to do it now. You're 205.
Macon throw every bit of himself into every tackle, man, and that's what I love about Macon, man.
Yeah, he's fun to be around.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you got to think about like the COVID year. Macon started nickel the whole year. I want to say he had about 4 or 5 sacks. And then last year he was on the deep end playing safety and had about 4 or 5 picks.
Right.
So he's just one of those players that no matter where you put him, he's going to produce. And that's what he's going to do this year. Whether he's a nickel, whether he's a strong or free safety, he's just going to make plays.
Yeah, and another thing he brings to the table, and the other guys behind you I want to talk about, he brings a lot of headiness to the position. He's a smart football player, as is your roommate, Larry.
Yes, sir.
And Larry is healthy?
Yeah, he is. Had a great practice today, actually. He's just saying that he's feeling rejuvenated, feeling like his old self again. And that's just one of the things you just love to see. I'm with him all the time, every day. And that was just one of the things that weighed on him heavily, is just being injured last year and just fighting with the understanding of you can't really control injuries, but it's also frustrating. So to just see him just overall have his confidence back, have his swagger back at safety, is great, because, Larry, he is the most experienced in that room. He played a lot, my sophomore year, his freshman year when we first got here, that 2019 year, and he has the most experience in that room. So to be able to have him on the field and be able to make plays and play like his old self is fantastic.
Yeah, Larry had a huge game back home for the Armed Forces Bowl. Yeah. At that time, you look at it, I was like, man, we got an all-conference safety on our hands. And, he played at a high level, but then last year he was so banged up and it affected his play. And not that he played poorly, but, just wasn't that same dynamic player. And now to have him back is a huge boon to defense, a guy who can do a lot of different things. He can give you zone, he can give you man, he can tackle, do all them things. And then, of course, we added Lummy back there with those guys.
Yes.
Lummy's a ball hawk.
Lummy is a ball hawk.
Lummy's a ball hawk, man. He gonna go off the ball. Like, some of the breaks he make is like the quarterback think he's there. On film, you would think that wide receiver's open. He'd come down and pick it, man. And he's gonna make something happen once he picks it.
I think he had about 6 interceptions over the course of camp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to hit either. So he's a ball hawk, but he's also a heat-seeking missile. He'll come down and do what he got to do in the box. So to just have those 3 guys, just experienced guys at that on the back end is just awesome to have.
Yeah, the amount of snaps that they've all had. They all with y'all in terms of total college snaps. You kind of at this point you've seen it all.
Right.
And there's just so many little things, and particularly when their offenses are playing so fast. And like it might be two little tells that if as an inexperienced player, you might have all the talent in the world, you don't see it, but it's like if you see motion a certain way, you know from playing 2,000 snaps, okay, that's telling me, what might be coming, what not. Mm-hmm. And so experience, when you can have it, is invaluable. And so we got that with y'all. We got that with those guys. And so look, so this is the problem though. Y'all good. Those guys are good. We got some talented corners with Jaden and those guys. And then the defensive line. So the Fear the Wave, we're instituting a Player of the Week program this year. But because I was so worried about, having to pick I can't pick one of my, it's like asking a mom who's her favorite child. My wife might tell me her opinion on that, but to them, she only says, I got 4 of them.
Yeah, I know.
Now, she loves them all equally. But, so what we're going to do is we're going to spread the love all around. So we're going to have a Fear the Wave Defensive Player of the Week that's going to be the linebackers and defensive backfield, but we're going to have a defensive lineman of the week. Okay. And then we're going to have an offensive lineman of the week, and we're going to have an offensive skill of the week, and we're going to have a special teams player of the week because, and that's not just the specialists. Those are the guys going down making tackles, the guys blowing up. Now, we probably have to do something where we don't have, because I know you definitely still play special teams.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, do you play on any of the special units?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Coach Frizz gonna keep you on those kicking games.
Yeah, so we probably won't double you up. We'll find somebody else to give some love to. But then also, because they're so important, we're going to have a scout team offensive player of the week, a scout team defensive player of the week, and a scout team special team of the week.
Sure.
And so every week, the Fear the Wave, we're going to, in promotion of the network and our charitable causes, we're gonna designate y'all, and we'll do some interviews after each game with all of our recipients. And it'll be shorter than this, but we'll get everybody on. But this is what you got to do. You got to make your list of your favorite charities. You got to be ready to shout them out and raise awareness about the different charities you want to support. Because I know y'all gonna both be winning lots of awards, right?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, very good. So I'm excited about that program. It's gonna be a blast throughout the season. And guys, I guess I'll leave you with this. So you put in all the work, the countless hours. There's so many sacrifices beyond the amount of time and work. There's those parties you can't go to, and it's that studying you got to do when you're dead tired, and you can't take your girl to a special place because you got a team event, and all these different things. It's all for a reason, though, right? And this is all on your plate now. Do y'all feel? I mean, I remember back in '98, we just knew. There was a feeling, and as you got through camp and you got through without too many injuries and all that, and we kind of looked at it, the unit was so that we just knew something special was about to happen. Y'all feel that weight on you? You feel the weight of something special in the environment around the Wilson Center?
Yes, sir, for sure. I can say as far as like my relationship with the team, I feel like this is one of the closer teams I've ever been on. We like have each other's back. We may argue and big, but we know like we all have love for each other. You know what I mean? It's for the greater cause, and we all know we're gonna get into each other, but it's all love at the end of the day, man. We got one end goal, and it's to win every week. That's our goal, man.
And I just feel like just the team attitude and just that fire that we have to get on the field and just right all the wrongs from last year. I know we've shied away from talking about it, but just to be able to show like who we really are, like show that these fans aren't just cheering us on for nothing, showing that our supporters aren't just there for nothing, and to just like I said, just rewrite the script from last year and just go out there and just play ball is something that everybody's excited for. Like everybody's just eager for, just going out there and showing who we really are. Because nobody really took the time last year to go watch the games and see how talented we were. They just looked at the record and was like, forget about those guys. And that's just something that has left a bad taste in our mouth, but not a taste for, just being angry, being upset, but just a taste for just go out there and eat. Just go out there and, dominate week after week. And like I said, thousands of times, the goal is a conference championship this year. Like, it's not 500. It's not, just winning 7, 8 games. We're trying to win it all. We're going to win it all. And it's just the mentality across the board, mentality across the team, mentality with the coaches. It's to just go out there and just take it all, this year. And I'm just excited for it, eager for it, ready to suit up. But like Dorian said, it's something that's going to come on a weekend, week out basis. Like I said, this is my last ride as a collegiate player. And I don't want to take any game for granted. I don't want to overlook any opponent. I want to put my all into each opportunity, week in, week out. Because at the end of the day, after the NFL career, you're still going to look back to your last year of college and be like, man, like, it flew. So I just want to mesmerize each moment with my teammates, week in, week out, and just go, like you said, go 1-0 each week.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it, and that's it. It's the time with the teammates, because at the end of the day, and when, particularly when you accomplish something big, right? When people want to say same old Tulane, and you're saying, bro, that means nothing to us. We believe in us. We know that we got something special in our hands, and we're going to prove the world wrong. And that making others believe starts with you believing in each other, right? It's the people in that room. But at the end of the day, when you go through it all, and you get out into your careers, whether it be in the NFL or after NFL doing other things, when you're president, Nick, there is nothing, I can promise you this, being 44 years old now, there is nothing that you're going to cherish more than looking back to the time you spent in that locker room with those guys. No matter what they look like, where they came from, whatever, that's your brotherhood that you're always going to have. And y'all got 14 rides left together, max, right? And I sure hope we max out those 14.
For sure.
Got to.
But these are the last 14. So, guys, I just want y'all to go out there and enjoy the heck out of those 14. And, 20 years from now, you could be like me, sitting interviewing some other guys. They're like, I'm telling you, young son, you're going to look back. There was a special time. But y'all going to remember those times. Y'all going to get together. And when you get together 15 years later, 20 years later, whatever it is, it's like you don't miss a beat, and it's you're back in that locker room. And it's just a special, special thing that most people don't get to experience, that you get to experience as a member of a football team. And guys, I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you health. I wish you success. And I can't wait to watch you guys roll this year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Guys, that's going to do it for the Jimmy O Show, the Kickoff Special. By the time you watch this, we will be on the eve of kickoff Saturday, 6 o'clock, UMass at Human Stadium. Get your tickets. It's going to be a heck of a good time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Bradley. Thank you, Stack Coaching, and roll wave.
Roll wave.